So great, lovely, you're going to get my fireplace. So come land in onto your mat. As always, this class offers us such a wonderful opportunity for slowness and for softness. So landing in and just embrace the soft within you, or gather it up, or like an ember, cultivate the softness within you. And in this time of fluctuation, of change, of instability, then the tendency in our nervous systems is to become hard, to defend or to attack, to become, to go into fight or flight. So either you're getting angry about things, or you're getting very anxious about things, or you're really finding it hard to remember things, which is the next stage, really. And so as you lie here right now, as you just rest on this yoga mat in this moment, and that sense of the community that we have created in this Wednesday evening, the movement that we are inspired to do together, and that sense of the repetition of your practice, that you keep turning up and being soft in this moment. Let yourself rest into that layer of you. Let yourself really soften in the gratitude of just turning up. Just deepen your breath into your belly. Really soften down into the torso, down into the belly, into the lungs, into the heart, the diaphragm. And just, find some place in you that's feeling well, that's feeling soft, that's feeling able right now. Just deepening your breath. Feeling the wrapping of your clothing, or the boundary of your blanket, the sense of the mat beneath you. And there's something in my heart that feels very soft, and I'm going to use the word safe around just that sense of that which we have cultivated in this space, in this time, on a Wednesday evening. The weaving of doing and being and softening and connecting, and just feel that in your belly, in your arms, in your legs, in your face. Nice. Great. So just coming to land on your mat with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Your arms, as always, can either rest long beside you, or you can rest your hands on your belly. And then just draw your lower back down and flatten into the floor. And as you arch, breathing into your belly as you arch. And just feeling into, sensing into the flattening into the floor and the arching of your lower back. The flattening into the floor and the arching of your lower back. So your knees are bent and your feet are flat, and you're really feeling how your spine is right now in this moment. How is it managing movement? And then come to the center and then sway your knees from side to side. So swaying your knees, you don't have to twist your knees all the way down to the floor. It's more allow the movement to emerge or to get bigger. So allow your knees to sway from one side to the other. Allowing a sense of deeper, softer, more connected movement. Nice, and then come all the way back to center. Squeeze your right knee up onto your chest, hug it in. And just feel the compression of your thigh down to your belly. Allow your breath to be steady, smooth, light down into your belly. Nice, and then let that right leg travel. So stretch your right leg slowly long until it floats just above the floor. So your leg is long, your heel is stretched away from you. So then bend your right knee and draw your right knee up onto your chest. Squeeze your right knee deeply down. And again, let your right leg travel till your heel floats just above the floor. And then bending your knee, squeeze your knee up onto your chest. Nice. So keep your right hand on your right knee and bring your left hand to your thigh, and then just open your right knee out to the side. And then come back to center. Open your right knee to the side, out to the right, and come back to center. And one last time, open your right knee to the side. And just pausing there at a point of wellness, not at the deepest point, but at the point where you can hold it for a few moments. There's a difference between the furthest in your range and the place that you can hold something. Nice, come back up to center, drop your foot to the floor, other leg. Draw your left knee up towards you, hug it deeply down. And then slowly stretching that left leg long until your heel floats just above the floor. Stretch long into your leg. Feel your belly working, the length of your thigh. Bend your knee, squeeze your knee up onto your chest, hug it in. And stretch your leg long. And as you stretch your leg long, notice how you're inhabiting your face, your torso, your body. You know, can you feel both of your eyes seeing? Can you hear both of your, or feel both of your ears hearing? Bend your knee, squeeze your knee up onto your chest. Can you feel your nose breathing? So really begin to connect into the senses of your head and face. So bring your left hand to your left knee and slowly draw your knee out to the side while noticing the senses of your face. Draw your knee back up to center. So how do you feel both of your eyes as you draw your left knee out to the side? And how do you feel your ears as you draw your knee back up to center? How do you sense your breath in your nostrils as you draw your left knee out to the side? And then back up to center. Next time we travel down to the left, we're going to hold it over there. So breath is down in your belly, your left knee is out to the side, and you're having a sense of the whole of you is connected. The whole of you is one. And come back to center. Lower your foot to the floor.
So draw your right knee up onto your chest and bring your right hand to your right knee, and your right knee travels out towards the right. And then bring your right knee towards the left and cross your right thigh over the top of the left, and let your right foot dangle down beside the left ankle. And then draw the right knee up towards your chest and draw your right knee out to the side. So we're going diagonal with the leg. So cross the right thigh over your left, and then draw your right knee out to the side and bring your hand to your knee. Nice. Last time. Cross your right leg over the left. Your foot is dangling down on the left hand side. Push both elbows into the floor and just sway gently from side to side here. So your lower back will be very different because we have there's already a stretch in the right side. So as you travel towards the left, you'll feel quite a strong stretching. So go slowly, really listening, hearing your body as you travel from one side to the other. And enjoy the sense of your body. I was talking last night about being in the beauty of your body and being in the glory of the power of our bodies, the connectivity of us. Just as you travel from side to side, just feel that, the functionality of your body. Nice. So push both elbows into the floor and then lift your left foot off the floor and squeeze both knees up towards your chest. Your legs are still crossed. And just pause there with your legs traveling up towards you. Your feet are traveling out towards the side and your thighs are crossed. Nice. Stretch both legs slowly up towards the ceiling and just roll out into your ankles. Big circles into your ankles. Circling, big circles. And then circle in the other direction. Circling, circling, circling. Nice. Bring both feet to the floor. We'll do the same on the other side. Draw your left knee up towards your chest and bring your hand to your left knee. And then draw the left knee out towards the left. And then left knee travels towards the right and your foot crosses over and your left foot is dangling down on the floor beside the right. Well, not quite the floor, but it's dangling down on the right hand side. Draw your knee up towards your chest and then left knee travels towards the left. And then back to center and over your right leg. So it's all the way over on the right hand side. Nice. One more time. And draw your knee over towards the left. And then cross your leg over so that your left foot is down beside the right ankle. Push your elbows into the floor and slowly travel from side to side. And really notice how that's changed the dynamic of your hips and your pelvis. For me, traveling towards the left feels easier. Traveling towards the right feels like I can just feel that there's more of a stretch happening. There's more length happening. So just traveling from one side to the other side. Nice. So push both elbows down and then lift the right foot off the floor and let yourself squeeze your thighs towards you. You're crossing your thighs on top of each other still. Your feet are a bit out to the side and your elbows are secure and you're just feeling that your abdominal muscles are working to hold your legs there. And then stretch both legs up towards the ceiling and just shake out your legs. Just have a sense of shaking out your legs, feeling into it. Nice. And then roll out into your ankles. Really using your toes as you roll into your ankles. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Lower one foot to the floor, lower the other foot to the floor. Stretch your arms straight out to the sides into a cross. And then drop both knees. Your feet are hip distance apart. Drop both knees down towards the right and then glide your left knee so that your left foot's on your right foot and then your left foot's on your right knee. And maybe your knee travels a little bit higher, but let that be based on the sensations of your body. And then bring your left foot to your right foot and just pause there. And again, glide your left foot up till it comes to your right knee and maybe a little bit beyond. And then come back and pause with your left foot on top of your right foot. One more time. Glide your left knee up, traveling the distance that feels appropriate, that feels really well for you. And then come all the way back, both feet to the floor. Bring your knees back up to center. And just pause there for a moment to settle. Drop both knees down towards the left. And then slowly glide your right foot to your left foot. And then right foot to your left knee. Maybe your knee travels a little bit more, but it doesn't have to. And then slide your right foot back till it comes to your left foot. Just pause there. And then gliding over towards the left with your right knee. Bring your foot back to your foot. Pause, resting. Last time, draw your knee up onto the left side. And then come all the way back, both feet to the floor. And draw your knees back up to center. Bring your arms long beside you. Stretch one leg long, stretch the other leg long. And just really pause there, resting there. Nice. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Both knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, arms are long beside you. And just roll up and down along your spine. And as you travel slowly up, as you travel slowly down, I'm always amazed at how different this movement is from day to day. Some days it flows like honey, and other days it's like my spine is full of a bag of potatoes. So just notice in your life in this moment, are you like honey, or are you like a bag of potatoes? It sounds so Irish. And so slowly traveling up and down, and I just feel, does something change? I'm not going to start with potato analogies. Do you mash your potatoes? No, but so just slowly traveling up and down, and just feel, does something change in your spine? Does something alter as you travel up? Squeeze your bum on the very up. And does something change as you really listen into your spine? Oh, things change. It's so amazing. Nice. Walk your feet a little bit closer together. Push down into your feet, lift your hips up. You won't be able to lift as high because when your knees are closer, your feet are closer, there's actually less range in the hips. But then lift one foot just a tiny bit off the floor and then place it down. And then lift the other one a little bit off the floor. You just feel like your feet are walking there. And notice, I love bringing my hands to the front of my hips as I do this. And so your weight bearing is changing from one side to the other. Is it a smooth transition? Or is there a stumbly, jerky thing? This is what we do every time we walk. So does the weight travel from one hip to the other hip with smoothness? Just feeling that in your body. How does the weight change? Does this reflect how you walk? Or is this totally new how you feel into your hips right now? Sometimes when we change the angle, we can see something differently or feel something differently in our bodies. Nice. Drop all the way down and just pause there and rest. Just rolling over onto your side and come all the way onto your hands and knees. So your hands and knees are Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, and grab the floor with your fingers and then squeeze your shoulders backwards and push your shoulders forward. So we're just doing a shoulder shrug. Squeeze your shoulders backwards and push your shoulders forward. And just notice, can you go to the end of your range? So the end of your range has a little bit more squeeziness to it. So it goes beyond mobility, and you have a sense of strengthening as well at the end of the movement. So really pushing forward with your hands and then really squeezing back with your shoulders. The rest of your spine isn't really moving. It's traveling up and down, but I'm not mobilizing the spine itself. Nice. Bring both elbows to the floor, interlock your fingers. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders, your hands are interlocked, and then try to do the same movement again. So squeeze your shoulders back, and then push your shoulders forward. Squeeze your shoulders back, push your shoulders forward. So as you travel from backwards to forwards, backwards to forwards. How is that in your shoulders right now? How do you feel that? Is there a shoulder that you need to consider, that you need to mind? Or is this feeling even in both shoulders? Nice. Bring both hands to the floor underneath your shoulders. And then step your hands, actually just pause there and come into the cat. So rounding your back, looking towards your navel. And then lifting your chest, arching your back and look forward. So mobilize and feel like your shoulders are away from your ears and that your spine is super long. You just feel that my spine is long. I'm expressing length into my spine. As I mobilize and as I move, each part of the movement has value. It's not just the end of the movement, it's the entire range that is interesting. Nice. And then come into a rounded cat and step your hands one handprint forward from where you are, rounding deeply into the spine, and sit your bum back towards your heels. Stay rounded as you travel back. And then slowly staying rounded, push the weight into your hands, bring your hips a little bit forward. So travel forward and backwards, staying rounded. I was saying in the class this morning that it feels, I always feel like a bear in the woods who wants to scratch his back on a tree. And I have to kind of round my back to really push my back backwards. So in your spine, how do you really feel that you're meeting the full of your spine? Nice. And now arching the back, so arch the back, look forward. For me, this always feels, there's a funniness to this one. It's like, I'm like, oh, this is really interesting in my rib cage. So notice how it is for you. I always feel that my rib cage is less easy with this movement. So stay arched and keep your arms straight as you draw your bum back. As you draw your bum back, you're still looking forwards. Nice. One more time. And then just rest your bum down. Come rest into your child's pose. Either supporting your head or having your head on the floor, having your arms back, or whatever version suits you. Feeling your breath in your belly, the back of your body, softening your face, softening your mind. Nice. So bring both hands to the floor and then bring your right foot to where your right knee was. And then sit your bum back and keep your knee in front of your chest for this one first. And then stretch your right leg long behind you and reach it really strong and long in the back, out the back. Nice. And then bend your knee. Bring your foot to where your knee was. Round your back over that leg. Keep your knee in front of your chest as you round. And then rock your weight forward and stretch your leg out long behind you. That's one more time. Bend your knee, bring your foot to the floor, and then sit your bum back and round your chest over that right leg. Nice. Knee to the floor, other side. Bring your left foot to where your left knee was. Sit your bum down, have your knee in front of your chest. Rock forward, stretch your left leg long behind you, strong and long. And then bend your left knee, bring your foot to the floor, sit your bum back, rounding over that left leg. All the way forward, stretch your leg back and bend your knee, bring your foot to the floor, round over that left leg. Maybe drop your head down, let yourself surrender onto the thigh. Nice. Both knees to the floor, both toes tuck under. Push back into your downward dog and then walk your feet a little bit closer. Walk your hands a little bit back and then bring your elbows to your knees. And just pause there with your elbows and your knees. And just wiggle your fingers. And roll a little bit into your wrists. A little bit tricky because your hands are going to knock a little bit off each other, but just feel like you're releasing into your hands and releasing into your wrists. Nice. And then bring both hands to the floor lightly. So bend your knees enough that your hands can touch the floor. And then walk your hands over towards the right side. And then bring them back to center. And then walk your hands over towards the left side. And then bring them back to center. Nice. Bring your right elbow to your knee. Bring your left elbow to your knee. And bring your right hand to your knee, your left hand to your knee. Slowly rolling up, all the way up. And then roll deeply into your shoulders. Big circles. Nice. Circling. And circling the other direction. Nice. So rolling down along your spine. So tuck your chin in and feet are hip distance apart. Just roll steadily and slowly down. Bend your knees, slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together, reaching up, looking up. Lovely. And then slowly lower your arms down, round your back, bending your knees, roll slowly and steadily down along the spine. Nice. Rolling up, reach your arms wide, palms come together, interlock your fingers up towards the ceiling and then lean over towards the right. Breathe into the right side. Breathe into the left side. Feel the length of the left side. It's coming back to center. Lean towards the left to breathe into the left side. Lengthen into the right side. And come all the way back to center. Stretching up, keep your arms up, up, up. Yes, so some arms going down. And then try and come up onto your toes with your arms up towards the ceiling.
Just feel how do you reach up through your toe fingers as you wobble gracefully on your toes. Nice. And then lowering your heels down, lower your arms down, and just shake out a little bit through your arms. Nice. So bring the right hand behind the back of your head. And then bring the right hand between your two shoulder blades, and this is called scratch. Okay, so scratch behind the back of your shoulder blades. Nice. And then bring your hand out and just drop your elbow till it's straight out from your shoulder and your hand is straight up towards the ceiling. So this is called cactus. And then straighten through your arm, turn your palm so it's facing backwards, and then bring your hand behind your lower back and just rest your hand into the lower back. This is behind. Nice. So bring your hand so it's straight, your arm is straight out first, and then bend your elbow so that your arm is like a 90-degree angle, and then bring your hand behind the back of your head or behind the back of your shoulders. Nice. And then release, bring your arm down beside you. Great. Left side, bring your left hand behind the back of your head or between your shoulders, come into scratch. Nice. And then just bring your elbows straight out to the side and your palm is pointing, or your fingers are pointing towards the ceiling. And then straighten through that arm, turn your thumb downwards because you have to rotate to get behind you. Bring the back of your hand into your lower back. Nice. Bring your hand back to cactus, so straight out, and then bend your elbow. And then bring your hand to scratch. Nice. And release your arm all the way down. So we're going to try both sides together. So both sides together will be challenging in loads of different ways. You know, so bring both hands to the back of your head. And then see what both hands might do to scratch. So this is usually the hardest part, is to create length in the back of the neck, and bring both hands behind you. And bring both hands to cactus. And then straighten through both arms and bring the backs of your hands to rest into your lower back. Nice, one more time. Cactus. Cactus, your elbows are back and your hands are seeking the wall behind you. And then scratch. Nice. Release your arms and just roll again out through your shoulders. And really appreciate the space that you can create in your shoulders. So big circles with your shoulders. And then in the other direction. Really circling. Use the whole of your spine. Sometimes I feel like the more I engage my belly as I do this movement, actually the more my shoulders can move. Nice. Bring your feet slightly apart. Roll deeply into your hips. Noticing the places that are easy to move into, and the places that twang or sing a little bit more too. And then the other direction. How wonderful. So step with your feet a little bit wider so that this is called a horse pose. Horse, because if you were sitting on a horse, that's more or less the distance that your feet would be apart. So if you were sitting down, there would be a horse there. Elephant is even wider. So horse pose is what we're aiming for. So there's always a great logic to all these things. And then bring your elbows to your knees and keep looking forward as you do so. So elbows to your knees. And then reach your right hand forward. Keep looking forward as you reach your right hand forward. And then touching the floor, there's no weight in your hand. Try and go a little bit further. And for me to go a little bit further, I have to dive a bit deeper down into my hips, and my left elbow supports me a little bit more as I reach. Bring both elbows to your knees and then stand all the way up slowly. And just feel that standing up. Squeeze through your bum, really tighten down into your legs. Feel like your legs are super strong, your bum is strong. Nice. Other direction, other side. So bring both elbows to your knees, keep looking forwards. And then reach the left hand forward, touch the floor.
And then go a little bit further forward. Notice what you do to get a little bit further, how you accommodate or allow or soften into the, we're all so gooey, it's so amazing. We can adapt. Let's bring both elbows to your knees. And then you can bring your hands to your knees if you need to, rounding your back as you come up. And coming all the way up to stand. Yes. One more time. Looking forward, bring both elbows to your knees. And then bring both hands to the floor. And just see if you can have your hands flat on the floor and your knees are bent and your belly is between your thighs, and it's like you're working at something in front of you. Move a little bit from side to side. Naturally in work we would be moving, so almost like travel in a circle maybe with your whole body, you're circling, or rock the weight a little bit from side to side, or you come up onto the toes, or ease. How would you ease? We have these amazing, like as soon as you start to move, it's not as intense anymore. If we stay still, it's pretty intense. You can straighten your legs, you can lean, you can push. How would you stay a little bit low like this for a tiny little bit longer? Nice. Elbows to your knees, hands to your knees, and then slowly coming up. Nice. Come all the way down and rest into your child's pose. Coming down, whatever way you do. Have your knees wide perhaps, or have your knees together. Really decide what you need and just resting in, settling in. Nice. And coming up, coming all the way up to stand, whatever way you do. Slowly rolling up and coming up to stand. Nice. So stand again in the middle of your mat and then step your right foot and left foot a little bit wide, horse, so that's like 2 feet wide, 2.5 feet wide. Nice. And then turn your right foot so it's pointing directly at the top of the mat that way. And then turn your left foot so it's slightly, your heel is slightly backwards. Nice. So my right foot's pointing towards the right, and my left foot, my heel is turned backwards and my toes are side, so it's 45-degree angle kind of. Bring your left hand to your hip and slowly just stretch into both legs and glide your right hand down your right thigh until you arrive just on the shin. So you can pause on the shin, not on the knee itself, but on the shin, or a little bit lower near the ankle. But draw that left shoulder back as much as you can. So you're trying to stay in the side body as we do this. And then pull your elbow, so bring your fingers to the front of your shoulder, draw your elbow backwards, and then extend your left hand up towards the ceiling. Just have a sense of lengthening through the left side of your body. So push down into that left leg and feel like your spine is getting taller out of your hips, out of your pelvis, and you're widening your chest. Feeling your breath. Nice. Soften your knees, bend your left elbow, sliding slowly up. Bring both toes to point forward. Nice. Come to the other side. So turn your left foot so it points directly at the left side of your mat. Turn your right foot so it points kind of halfway. So your heel is pointing back and your toe is slightly pointing forward. So 45-degree angle. And then bring your right hand to your hip, draw that right shoulder deeply back and slide your left hand down your left leg until you arrive down on the shin. And pull that right shoulder back so that you're feeling the side body. Bring your fingers to the front of your left shoulder, no, your right shoulder, and then draw your elbow back and extend the right hand up towards the ceiling.
Really express a sense of strength and length and just a sense of connectedness through your body. Nice. Bend your elbow, soften your knees, come all the way back up to center. Nice. One more of these standing. So turn your toe towards the right side of your mat. And then turn the back foot at a 45-degree angle. Bend the front knee deeply and really draw the front knee so that it's still pointing over your foot. So don't let it travel towards the left, keep it pointing towards the right. Bend your knee, bend your knee, bend your knee, and then bring your elbow to your thigh and your left hand to your hip. Reach your fingers to the front of the left shoulder and pull your elbow back, and then extend your left hand up towards the ceiling. Slowly bring your left arm until it comes near your ear. So your arm is long and strong, so the whole left side is now long, strong and connected. Breath is in your belly. Nice. Soften that left arm, bring your hand to your hip. Straighten out through your front leg, come all the way up. Last of these. Turn your left foot all the way towards the left. Turn your right foot so your toe is pointing at a 45-degree angle. From here, bend your front knee, keep it moving towards the left, and then bring your forearm to your left leg. Bring your right arm to hand to your hip and pull your shoulder back. Nice. Bring your fingers to the front of your shoulder. Pull the back of your shoulder and then extend your arm up towards the ceiling. Reach your arm over your ear and create length through the whole right side of your body. Nice. Soften your elbow. Bring your hand back to your hip, slowly rising up, and then heel toe your feet towards each other. And come sit on your mat with your legs long in front of you. Nice. I love it. Just roll out into your ankles. And then roll in the other direction. Just feel the movements that we've created in the body. Draw your toes down towards the floor. Draw your feet towards your face. Then draw your toes towards your face. Point your toes down. And then draw your toes up. One more time. Toes down. And toes up. Nice. Roll into your wrists. Big circles with your wrists. And circle in the other direction. Nice. Bring both hands forward in front of you. Make a fist out of the right hand and pull the right elbow back. And really feel that sense of a bow and arrow. So reach the left hand forward as you pull the right elbow back. And then slowly begin to reach the left hand upwards, like you're traveling, you're following something with an arrow. And then coming back, change. Reach your right hand forward, pull your left elbow back, making a fist out of your left hand. Reach your right hand forward. And then slowly travel your arrow upwards. And your bow of the left hand has to follow the arrow. And then coming all the way down. Nice. From here, bring both hands forward and then reach we start by, have your hands near your thighs. I don't know how else to start this one. And then reach the right hand over towards the left side of your foot, the left side of the left foot. And then pull like you're trying to pull something backwards, and you pull the right elbow back as far as it'll go. And then you dive with the left hand to the outside of the right foot. And then you pull something back and you pull it back towards the left side. So we're going diagonal. Reach the right hand to the left,
Pull it across and draw your elbow back deeply. Feel like I'm pulling in nets off a boat. And then reach the left hand forward to the right side and pull the elbow back. And really feel like you're pulling from the deep of your belly and you're reaching as far as you can and then pulling in slow motion backwards. And just notice the rotational core, the deep core muscles of your body as you mobilize into a state of flowing from one side to the other side. One side to the other side. One more time each side. I think we have enough netting. One side and then the last side. Wonderful. Bring both hands to your thighs and just roll into your belly. Just notice how that is. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Reach your hands back behind you. Bring your fingertips, just kind of squeeze them back around the corner behind you. And then open the chest. So you should feel like your chest is kind of reaching forward and your fingers are reaching backwards and your fingers are on the floor. Get taller. Nice. And then keep the left hand where it is. Bring the right hand to the outside of your left knee and twist towards the left. Nice. And then sweep that right hand behind you. Find its place. Open the chest. And then sweep the left hand all the way over towards the right and twist towards the right. And then both hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulders back. And release. Nice. Come lie on your back. So sit at the front of your mat. And then slowly begin to roll backwards. As you roll, let yourself travel slowly backwards. Feet are on the floor when they land. Arms are out to the side into a T. And just let yourself settle and land there. For me, I love repositioning my body. It's like landing myself clearly on the floor. So I go, oh yes, I'm consciously aware of where I've just put my body rather than I've just flung myself down. That's also nice. Let's let that settle. So walk your feet so they're as wide as your mat. You should feel the edges of your mat underneath your feet. And then drop both knees down towards the right and turn your head towards the right. And really let the deep of your belly, the wide of your shoulders, soften into the floor. And slowly come back to center. And then drop your knees down towards the left and turn your head towards the left. and come all the way back up to center. From here, reach both arms overhead so that they rest on the floor above your head. You might have to bend one elbow or do what you need to do to find the place where your arms can rest on the floor overhead. And then just draw your right knee up towards your chest. And then stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your knee, bring your foot to the floor, and draw your left knee up onto your chest. And stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. Your arms are still resting on the floor above your head. Bend your knee, bring both feet to the floor. I'm going to try both feet. So if that feels like it's too strong, then do one leg and then the other. So try both feet lift. Both knees squeeze onto your chest. And then stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Just really pausing there. Arms are resting. You found a place for you to rest your arms. Notice, are you good at that? Or can you really find the comfort of your arms? Your legs are up towards the ceiling. Your knees can be as bent as they need to be. They can be as straight as they want to be. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your eyebrows. Nice. And then bend your elbows and bring your hands in front of you. And then bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. Reach down, interlock your fingers, or hold on to your feet, or hold on to the opposite ankle with the opposite hand. So cross your wrists and hold on to the right ankle with the left hand, and the left hand with the right ankle, or whichever way. I don't know how to say that. So just cross your ankles and hold on to the, cross your wrists, sorry, and hold on to the opposite ankle. And then just pull your feet towards your belly. And then just rock from side to side. As you rock, just let yourself notice the difference between one side and the other. Difference in how the weight changes from one side to the other. How your legs move differently, or there's different sensation in one side to the other. So bring your knees together, wrap your arms around your knees, rock from side to side. And then elbows on the floor, roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Bring one foot to the floor, bring the other foot to the floor. You can keep your knees bent and rest there, or you can stretch your legs out. You can bring a pillow underneath your knees. You can put a pillow underneath your head. You can get a blanket because you can. It's very nice. As the darkness comes in, it's very interesting how, I was saying that during the week that when I changed over here, you could hear the geese less, but actually you just hear the geese less because the sunrise now in the morning is at 7:40 and the sunset now is at 7 o'clock in the evening, or 5 to 7 or so. And so they're much less around, the geese, as before they're around from 4 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night. There's much more snooziness going on in the animals on the farm at the moment. A bit like us, we're all starting to move a bit more inwards. It's very interesting feeling it. So just resting on the floor there, whatever way you do, find your way of dropping, of pausing, of softening. Breath is down into your belly. Deepening, settling, softening, pausing. Softening through the face, softening into your jaw. And then just taking a long breath and reaching into your fingers, and stretching into your toes, and just finding how do you move, how do you awaken, what do you do to arise.